Introducing the 5 T's of tropical disease. The 5 T's is a framework that helps you do a number of things. Firstly, it gives you a systematic structure through which you can learn about any tropical disease, or any disease for that matter. It allows you to learn the basics of the disease first, before diving deeper to get a better understanding of its implications on the traveller and on the local population. Secondly, the framework can easily be used to teach others about the same disease. And thirdly, it gives you a simple way of summarising the information for you to quickly pass on the vital components when time is limited, such as during a travel health consultation. The 5 T's are as follows: type, transmission route, treatment, traveller's risks, and take-home message. Let's look at them one by one. The first T is for type, which specifically looks at type of organism that caused the disease and type of disease itself. Knowing the type of organism is helpful for understanding the nature of the disease and essential for knowing how it can be treated, or if it can be treated at all. Organisms that cause most diseases are viruses, bacteria, and parasites. By type of disease, we're referring to how it affects the body and the person living with it. For example, is it a disease which affects the liver, the brain, or the gastrointestinal system, to name but a few types of disease? The next T stands for transmission route, which describes the way the disease is passed on. Examples of transmission route include arthropod-borne or vector-borne disease, which are diseases transmitted by a group of animals including insects and arachnids, such as mosquitoes and ticks. Many diseases are transmitted via food and water, also known as the fecal-oral route, and some infectious diseases are passed on directly from person to person through means such as coughing and sneezing or transmission from direct contact. The knowledge from this section will give us a better understanding when looking at the Traveller's Risk section. We'll now move on to T for treatment, and in this section we'll go into more depth about the disease, including the incubation period, the effects of the disease on the person and the population. We'll then look at ways of treating the disease and whether there are any preventative interventions such as vaccines. The Traveller's Risk section is all about looking at the traveller and the journey they will be taking in order to establish how they might increase their likelihood of getting the disease and how they could prevent it. We will relate the transmission route to the traveller's planned trip, including accommodation and activities, in order to get a realistic and practical idea of how they might end up contracting the infection and to help advise the traveller on making the best decisions for avoiding it. Finally, in the last section, we'll look at T for take-home message, where we will summarise the 5 T's, looking at the disease and the risks in relation to the traveller. The summary gives you a simple way for you to remember important points about the disease and also give you sound bites of information that you can deliver to your traveller so they can take home the best advice for them and their trip.